the Dillinger Escape Plan, and you're watching Big Cheese TV at Groezrock Festival.
How are you enjoying Belgium so far?
So far, so good. I mean, it kind of, I feel like I'm kind of in an airport terminal. It's like I'm not really in Belgium. I'm just kind of in this, like, you know, kind of like no man's land.
Yeah, you've got like a tour mindset on at the moment.
Yeah, and
everything's sort of blending into one.
Yeah, and it really does feel like an airport terminal with like different people from different places kind of moving around, and like you don't really know where they're going. They're all kind of boarding at a different gate than you, and you know.
Have you bumped into anyone that you know so far?
Yeah, some of the Lifetime guys. They're the guy who's tour managing them. My friend Andy also plays in Ceremony.
Oh, okay.
He's a good friend of mine. The Bouncing Souls guys, and like Mike especially lives in Philly now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of like you see your friends at work.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, hey, what's up, you know?
Are you looking forward to any particular band while you're at the festival?
You know what? I've never seen Rancid, and I can't exactly admit that I'm a big Rancid fan, but I'm always curious about bands that have kind of stood the test of time, from a bass player to another bass player, like I know he rips, so I kind of just want to see it, you know, and today's my chance.
Excellent.
So.
Okay, so let's put you in a hypothetical situation.
Okay, I like those.
Your house is on fire.
Is it?
You can save one thing, assuming that all humans and animals can get out on their own.
Okay.
What would you save?
Man, it's a tough one. I'm assuming that everything gets incinerated to oblivion in this fire. I would either save, and it's going to be one of two things. I would either save like a hard drive. Yeah. Because I have, I've been writing journals every morning, every day I've ever been on tour. So for the past 12 years, I've got about 3 pages of journals for every day of tour. So I kind of plan to drop this Bible of a rock biography at some point in my life of all the crazy Dillinger tales and trials and tribulations.
That would be a big loss if that were to be.
So that would be that. Not to me so much as the
world,
to the world at large, to my children's children. So that would be one thing, and then I also have this. I was clearing out my grandmother's house when she was moving into a retirement community, and I've had a pretty interesting family. You know, I have a pretty interesting family, and my great-grandfather was a sea merchant. And he, I guess at one point, brought home this object, and I found it in my grandparents' house, and I was like, hey, what is this thing? Because it kind of looks like a shell, but it kind of doesn't, and it's just this weird, obviously organic, but like kind of deformed-looking thing. Yeah. And she just very casually was like, oh, it's a whale's ear bone. So I have a whale's ear bone sitting on a table. Yeah. And it's just kind of like a weird kind of power object of sorts. So I don't know why that thing just jumped into my head. It seems like a terrible thing to lose. I might answer this question differently at any other time. But those are the two things that
they're two perfectly good answers.
It's hypothetical.
Yeah,
so,
it's absolutely,
you know,
it could be anything.
My house isn't really on fire, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not that I know of anyway.
I have insurance.
As you said just then, I mean, you've been playing with Dillinger now for 12 years.
It's about 12 years now.
And obviously, the style of music that you create and you have wouldn't be necessarily considered to be mainstream, even though somehow you've managed.
No.
I don't want to break it to you, mate. But obviously, you've managed to break down that barrier into
some of those barriers.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think it is about the Dillinger Escape Plan?
You know, I think it's a combination of things. I think there's like, you know, obviously luck and fate and dedication and longevity and like just an insatiable drive. Yeah. You know, I think the kind of stuff that we've been through as a band would break lesser bands. You know, we've been through a lot of members. We've had a lot of like really kind of strange and unfortunate circumstances present themselves. So it's definitely like a what doesn't kill you situation. And because we've had so many of them, we feel kind of invincible and obnoxiously so. So I think that's part of it. And I think really like, I think with anything, like if you just really have like a gut feeling about something, and you know, I always say that my goal as a musician, and I think the rest of my band kind of shares it too, is that I'm trying to create the record that I can't find.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the bass player that I would like, you know,
okay.
and like, you know, when I was coming up and when I started playing, like, I want to be that dude, and I want to play like that, and I want to make that record, and I want to make, you know, create this sound that doesn't exist. I don't want to make anything that does exist, you know.
I think you certainly achieved that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, I'm going to have a hypothetical question for you.
Another one.
You're on death row.
Okay.
What's your last meal?
Oh, man. Well, I'm vegan, so,
okay.
You know, it's weird. I've kind of, there's a lot of good food out there, obviously. And for whatever reason, I feel like I am on this quest to find like the world's greatest falafel or like the world's greatest dolmas. I don't know why Mediterranean food just really vibrates with me. So it would probably be, you know, whatever falafel I've decided at that point is the best falafel. And at this point, there's a little cart on 20th and Market Street in Philadelphia, if you're ever in Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, always.
And this guy makes just, he's like the soup Nazi of falafel sandwiches. So, yeah, I don't know. I think for some reason falafel or some dolmas, or maybe a falafel with some dolmas
well, it's
in
your
there.
last meal. You could mix it up.
Yeah, it might be that.
You can make a cocktail out of it.
And maybe maybe a Rodenbach Grand Cru to wash it all down.
Nice.
I don't know.
And just finally, what anything in the near future for us to wait for Dillinger Escape Plan?
I mean, we are in the initial stages of album conception.
Yeah.
We've got a couple ideas, a couple rough things kind of kicking around. And the rest of us, I mean, all of us kind of have like side project things that are kind of, you know, kind of moving to the front burner at certain parts of our, you know, free time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Dillinger record is in the process, and when it's done, you'll hear it, you know, and until then, it's just kind of, I think after this little short run, which ends in 4 days, we're kind of going into hibernation mode and getting intimate and personal with our musical selves, and hopefully we'll come out the other side with something brilliant. And
excellent.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you very much for your time.